Hi everyone. Once again, this is Dina coming with another video for the week starting April 13th till April the 19th. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful and beautiful week. Um, as for me, I have to say I certainly did. Just enjoying the beautiful weather and having an opportunity to go out and walk and be with, my family, things like that. So it's definitely been a blessed week for me. And as we can see, everything is warming up, so that's definitely a beautiful thing. What I wanted to do is go ahead and pull a few cards as far as the energies that we're working with. So I'm going to pull three cards. These three cards will illustrate the beginning, mid, and end of the week. And then the last final card will give us a general overview of what we can expect. Prior to starting the video, I did shuffle, but then I'm going to do a little quick shuffle. I always like to do that. Um, Pull the cards and see maybe some of the things we can work for on, I'm sorry, or some of the things we can kind of like get a bit of a forecast of what's going on. So, all right, let's see what happens here. All right, so we have the first card. I'm going to set it right here. I'm not even going to look at it. The second card, midweek. First card for the beginning. Monday, Tuesday, we'll say. Second card, Wednesday, Thursday. And final card, I will say in terms of that, Friday, Saturday. And then we'll have the overall card, which will cover Sunday, which I believe is the 19th. So, all right, let's see what happens. Okay, set this right here. All right, so what are we working with for the beginning of the week? Monday, Tuesday, beginning of the week. The Devil. Wow, this is a very powerful card. The Devil is about, and in this deck, by the way, let me go ahead and tell you the deck that I'm using. This is the Polino Tarot, right? And this is by Paulina Cassidy. The artwork is very beautifully done on these cards. Very detailed image. Just a lot of details, typically. Even if you can see here with the Devil card. You got to kind of see. Yeah, you can see two people tied together, right? This person here is holding, or this character is holding a ball, and on this ball is a dollar sign. I'm automatically drawn to that. This woman right here, when I look at her, the first thing that draws me to her is that she's holding this mask. Okay? So, what this tells me, the Devil card has a lot of messages with that. The idea of feeling restricted. And it could, just with the dollar sign there, it's about feeling restricted and how you financially secure yourself. Feeling tied to some type of contract or some type of agreement or arrangement. And it most likely has to do with how you make your money or how you physically, your material wealth, basically. So there's a sense of maybe a strong responsibility. Devil being feeling like you're kind of like tied to this thing, and this person's holding the ball with the dollar sign, and you having to put on a mask in order to go along with this. So what this tells me automatically, maybe a lot of us are kind of like, maybe have certain responsibilities or things that we take that kind of supports us in this physical realm. We're feeling very restricted by these responsibilities and very tied down. But the message of this card too is that it's always a choice. It isn't an illusion. This restriction is self-imposed, basically. So the message of this card is, although it may appear that yeah, you have to do this, these responsibilities, looking at the bigger picture. It also tells you always have the choice to remove that, to break these obligations. If they're not serving you in a way that you feel is moving you forward towards your goal, your destiny, or what you're here to do, it is always within your power to break this chain, because this feeling of restriction is really not real. It's more of a self-imposed restriction with the devil. Because if you look at this lady that's tied to this character here, the mask, she can take this mask off at any time. And if you see these chains, like his leg is up, like up this way with the chain, or her leg, whatever. There's a loose thing. It's very loosely, it's a loose bond basically. She's wearing this like really, she's basically playing a part that's not really her. All right. And also with the devil, it can also be about addictions. And a lot of people, when they talk about addiction, they think about drugs, alcohol, things like that. But people are addicted to so many different things. You know, you have people that's addicted to exercising, people addicted to overeating. Anything that you try to do religiously and it's over and you feel like you have to do it, that's that's on your mind, whether it's drugs, alcohol, or whether it's, some people are in this card too, can also talk about maybe being tied to someone, like whether it's sexually, love connection, that's maybe a relationship that's not necessarily good for you, and you feel like you're committed to something that's not really who you are. You're playing a role to this person, but that's not who you really are. So there's a need for us to look at life for really what it is and see things clearly, and cut these ties, whatever these ties are, cut them, because at the end of the day, it's always self-imposed. It's always a choice. So I think it's what this card tells is like, let's look up at our situation realistically, like in a realistic way. And if it's no longer serving us, it's time for us to cut those ties. Don't look back either. Trust me. I know all about that. Don't look back. Alright, so that's Monday and Tuesdays. The lesson. We need to cut certain ties, look at our situation, see what's going on, and if we need to leave it behind, let it go. Let's see what's going on for, next card is going to be for Wednesday and Thursday, midweek. Three of Swords. Okay. So Three of Swords with this Devil card and Three of Swords is like kind of holding on to something that we're not. Definitely the situation is not serving us, and we're holding on to it and rehashing and re-going over it, and it's like you're playing games with your own mind. So this card, as you can see, this woman here, she's, see if I can put it at an angle where you can clearly see. She has 3 swords and there's a heart in the middle. And these 3 swords is going through this heart. She's holding a bird in her hands. She's sitting all alone. And if you can really see, around her is full of life. Like there's like mushrooms, flowers, trees. There's a little clouds in the background here. She's like in the middle of all this life, but she's still crying over something. She's still holding on to something that already passed. And it's kind of like playing in her mind. And with the 3 of Swords, it's a heart thing too. Even though Swords is a card that represents the mind realm, air. But she's holding on to something. So there's a need to kind of there's a separation with this card, a sense of separation or feeling isolated from others, because you're kind of stuck in this little realm and you're rehashing old things, old relate. And in all honesty, when this card comes up, it's typically about some type of heartbreak, some type of relationship that went bad. And you're still rehashing that relationship. You're still going over it. It's past. It's dead, basically. And around you is all this life. And you need to, there's a sense of still looking at things in a clear way. What's done is done. There's a need to move on. And with all this life, and if you can see here, there's this like, I don't know if you guys can see in the card, but there's this like fairy type creature. Like there's a, you know, that's part of the whole life around her. It's she's like being watched, she's being protected, she's, you know, she's being watched over. But at the same time, she doesn't realize all the blessings around her, and she's just caught up in this mental hell, basically. So this is another self-imposed hell, basically, self-imposed illusion. Whatever is meant to be for you will be for you. That's my motto. If a relationship went sour, if something went bad, you just had to learn the lesson and move on. And I know it sounds very simple, but I think the simple things, we try to overcomplicate it. If a person comes into your life and they're not around anymore, there's a reason for it. Don't hold on to that. Enjoy the present. Enjoy the life around you. And you will see the lesson in that experience, basically. So, regardless, and you know, a lot of people will pull up these type of cards like, yo, these are negative cards and this and that. I don't look at it like that. These are very, to me, positive cards in the sense that the lessons that you get from them. If you're able to draw the nectar from it, you evolve at a level that's just beyond words, because understanding a lot of the things that you say you can't do with this devil card is not real. It's self-imposed. And knowing when to let go with this card, I mean, these are valuable, and I view them in a very positive light. I don't look at these things like, oh, this is a negative card. I mean, we all have to go through these certain experiences to be who we are, to be stronger as individuals, and be able to go out and help others. So I don't look at these cards in a positive and negative. I try to draw the lesson from the cards. So finally, well, not finally, we have Friday and Saturday. See what's going on with that. The Queen of Wands. Beautiful card. So basically, there's some mental junk we have to clear up towards the beginning of the week. And with the Queen of Wands, it definitely shows that we will definitely integrate ourselves with the darker aspects of ourselves. So Queen of Wands is fire. She's creative. She's beautiful. She's magnetic. She's connected with her shadow side. In this deck, which is very, very interesting, there's like an eye. It's on her midsection here. There's an eye looking out. The center of her creativity coming out for the world to see, basically. So what this tells me is there's a need to focus on your talents and gifts. This will help you get over these illusions, because as you physically manifest what you can do, as you do the things that are within your ability to do, you draw strength from that. And you see this this animal-like, which is her, basically the animal soul, I like to call it, that we all have. Then there's her right here. She's standing. She has the umbrella kind of like sheltering it. So now she understands the role of that aspect of herself. She doesn't deny it. She doesn't repress it. She embraces it and brings it into herself, and she's able to use the power that she gets from it and the passion that she, there's a passion with this card too. Understanding that her ideas are valid. What she's trying to create is valid. And the world can also benefit from that. So she draws strength from that aspect of herself. She doesn't repress it and brings it out into the world. Other people will be naturally drawn to her because they will see the integration between the lower and higher self, basically. So this is a beautiful message for the end of the week. So regardless of all these circular thoughts in the beginning of the week that she was having, this individual we were having, towards the end of the week, we're going to be able to tap into our true nature, which is multidimensional, and bring that together in a way that the world can see and also be creative in the process. So others will definitely be able to appreciate our gifts and talents, but we can't be afraid to bring them out for people to see. You just got to be who you are, and that's it. So yeah, you've been through hell and back, but you're here now, and you do have something to bring to the table, and everyone will definitely appreciate that. So it doesn't matter if they don't. It's your responsibility to be who you are, and that's it. All right? Beautiful message. All right, so last and final card, Sunday, and just the overview card, all around. Let's see what it is. Independence with the 9 of Pentacles. Anytime this pops up. Beautiful. Let's see if you see this woman. She's surrounded by life. She has a bird landing on her hat. She basically did it from the ground up, basically. She put herself up. Beautiful card. 9 of Pentacles. Pentacles representing the earth element. How you manifest in the physical realm. So what this tells me is overcoming your restrictions in your past will allow you to just be that beautiful, independent flower. That wild flower, that wild mushroom that goes crazy. No one that grows like crazy. No one can do anything about it because it is what it is. It has been able to survive the most extreme environments, and it still is able to multiply and be fruitful. So the possibilities with this card is endless. So there's a need to, the general message, face all aspects of yourself, integrate it. With this Queen of Wands is about integrating that whole aspect of yourself. What you see yourself as being positive or negative, depressed or whatever aspects. Deal with these issues. Integrate them here with the Queen of Wands. Because this animal here and her, they're really one. They're connected. So when she realizes that, the self-doubt, the things that you keep remembering, rehashing, when you're able to self-impose restrictions, it's things that you have done to yourself. Once you realize that the power is always within you to change your circumstance and your situation, you gain your independence and you're forever fruitful. So that's a very beautiful message for the end of the week. Look at her. The bird. I love this deck. It's just details. I don't know how much you guys can see on your end there, but you got all the 9 pentacles. Just this fruitful garden. There's this beautiful bird that just rests easily with no fear on her head. She's almost like she's blended so well with the earth. She's almost like a tree branch. Like you see the birds when they sometimes will land on a tree, they're comfortable. They'll land somewhere that they feel they'll be safe. And this bird just landed on her head, on her hat. She grows right into the environment because she understands that she is not disconnected. She is not separated. She is not alone. She is part of everything else around her. And by understanding that, she gains her freedom and independence. And it's a bit of a paradox. But it's all about seeing things for what they really are. Or not necessarily what you've been told. See things clearly for what they are. Beautiful message for the end of the week. So I hope everybody has a beautiful week. Seems like, in the beginning there may be some self-doubt. Maybe there may be some self-analysis and things like that, but it's all good. Doesn't matter, because in the end, the responsibility that you have is to yourself. By connecting with who you are, you can connect with others. All right, stay blessed. Peace.